I'm Kathy Belge.
And I'm Marke Bieschke.
And we are the authors of Queer,
the ultimate LGBT guide for teens. And we're here in beautiful San Francisco at the Zest Books office.
The gayest city in the world.
Gayest city in the world, and we're here to answer some questions and talk a little bit about the book. So here we go. One of the parts of Queer that we're most proud of is our resources section. I know that when I was a teen, I would have loved to have a list of resources. There was not a lot of information then, and there wasn't the internet back then. You know, we basically rode around on dinosaurs. So, you know, this was something that we felt that we wanted to compile for people, especially now, you know, when there's so many resources available, and it can sometimes be confusing where to turn. And so this is one of the parts that we felt was really necessary to the book, and that meant a lot to us.
So we wanted to highlight a couple of the resources that we thought were important. I think online there are 3 really great resources at about.com. One is for LGBT teens, one is for gay men, and one is for lesbians. And actually I happen to be the person who is the guide to the lesbian one. So if you want to check that out, lesbianlife.about.com, you can find lots more stuff about me and about being a lesbian and all kinds of resources for gay guys too. Another resource that I was so delighted to put in this book is actually a book that was written by a teenager that I used to work with years ago. She's not a teenager now, but the book is called Kicked Out by Sassafras Lowry. It's an anthology of queer teenagers who got kicked out of their homes and were homeless at some point in their life. And it's kind of, some of the stories are really hard and heartbreaking, but a lot of them are uplifting, and you get to see even these teens that had like really, really hard and bad experiences, the things that they've gone on to do with their life. It can be inspiring. And then the other resource that I just think is amazing is the Trevor Project. And that is a website, and it's a phone number that you can call to get information. I think the It Gets Better campaign is partnering with them now. And so they have resources for teens maybe in crisis, if you're feeling suicidal, or just want to get some more information about what it means to be a queer teen. The Trevor Project is a really great resource.
For me, it's some of the resources that are close to my heart include PFLAG, which is the Parents, Friends, and Families of Lesbians and Gays. It's an organization I've been incredibly blessed to have wonderfully accepting parents who got very involved in PFLAG, especially my mother. Yeah, and so they've met so many other supportive people, and it's a great place to not only find out about yourself, but to direct your parents if they have any questions, if you do decide to come out to them, or friends, or you know, your extended family. Another resource is a local resource in San Francisco, but it offers a wealth of information for queer teens throughout the world, and that's LYRIC, the Lavender Youth Recreation and Information Center. Again, that's based here, but their website, which is www.lyric.org, offers tons of information for queer teens from the perspective of all kinds of social classes and, you know, all kinds of different kinds of queer teens. And finally, I wanted to talk about one of the books that I love, because, you know, Kathy and I are both kind of bookworms, and so we definitely wanted to include a lengthy list of books that you could go to the library and check out, or online. And one of them is called Odd Girls and Twilight Lovers, A History of Lesbian Life in 20th Century America, and that's by Lillian Faderman. And it's just such a fascinating resource about what it was like to be a lesbian in the last century, you know, having to lead your life completely differently from the opportunities you have now to lead your life. And I think it's always good to know your history. Throughout the book Queer, we have little spotlights on historical figures, and this book by Lillian Faderman that we talked about in our resource section gives you a richer understanding of that history. So those are some of the resources that were really important to us to include.